Hey and welcome. I'm your boy Solo. In this video, I'll be going over how to install Windows 10 from a USB. So if you're having issues with your computer, it's acting weird, or it's just not working like it used to, let's do a fresh install to get you back into the game. Before I waste any more time, let's jump into it. First, we need to make a Windows 10 installation USB, and if you've paid for Windows 10, make sure to link it to your Microsoft account so it will automatically activate your copies of Windows 10 when you're logged into your account after the install. I will make sure to leave a link to this in the description below. Next, make sure that you back up your files, pictures, and videos and things in My Documents and downloads that you want to save. After the install, everything on the C drive will be erased, so it will be reformatted and everything on it will be gone. It would definitely be a good idea to get backups of everything that you want to save before you do this process. So let's back everything up and make the Windows 10 USB. After you plug the USB stick in, go to your folders, find it in here, right click it, and format. Make sure that you format it in a FAT32. Make sure that is selected. The file system must be a FAT32 for the BIOS to select it. You can name it whatever you want. We'll call it junk, just so that it switches, and click start. Click OK. After it's done, you're ready to go. Click close, close that, and next, for this, we just need to go into Google, search Windows Media Creation Tool. The top one here should be Microsoft. You should download Windows 10 disk image. Click there, scroll down, it'll say the update assistant here to update to the latest version of Windows 10. But we want to go to Download Tool now. Should only take a second. Once it's downloaded, give it a click. Click yes. Close everything out, and then it'll say getting a few things started. This will take a few minutes to load up, but it shouldn't be too long. Next, it's gonna ask you some stuff. Just click accept. Create install media USB flash device. Click next. Use recommended settings for this PC. Click next. You'll want to use a USB drive, so it's the very first one. You don't want the second one unless you're gonna burn a CD. We'll use the first one. Click next. We'll double check to make sure that our ESD USB is the correct one. Select the drive that you just put in. Make sure it's the drive that you put in, and then click next. This here is going to go through a downloading process and make the files. This should only take a moment. I'll be back in a second. Alright, after your USB flash drive is ready, click finish. This will just take a few minutes and close. After that, you should see it here, all done. Perfect, looks good. And there you go, all the settings should be there. Now that we have that done, next is installing it. For this, we need to boot to the USB device. You can do this on some motherboards by spamming the F8, F10, or F12 button. If you get the boot menu, select the USB drive with Windows on it and click it. If not, search your motherboard to find the F key used to get to the boot options. If your motherboard does not support the boot options quick key, you can also spam delete to enter the BIOS. All you need to do is find the boot options and change them to boot from the USB first, then the SSD or M.2 or hard drive, whatever it is that you're using or what you're installing Windows to. Make sure that it's option number 2, save, and reboot. We'll do that here in just a minute, so hang tight. All you need to do is go here, make sure that your USB device is plugged in with Windows 10 on it, and you should be able to just restart and spam F8 first thing that it starts to restart back up. Now spamming F8, you'll be brought to this here menu. You'll be able to, from this here point, if your mouse isn't working or if it's really bad, all you need to do is select the UEFI USB disk 3.0. It'll say it right here. That there's the install that we made for the USB drive. So all we need to do is push the arrow key down and click OK. If that way works, that'll be perfect. I'll do it in the BIOS just here in a second. it should boot right into the Windows startup. And if that way doesn't work, well, it's restarting. Make sure that you're spamming delete on startup, and you'll be brought to the BIOS. Now, this is something that you may want to have advanced mode for. So we're going to go down here to advanced mode. It may show it here as well for boot priority. And all you need to do is just drag your USB drive above your Windows boot device. Now when you save and restart right here, you will be able to it'll automatically boot from this first and go into the startup. If you're in advanced mode, you should be able to locate this here under boot. It should be like this for many motherboards. So all you have to do is locate things that are similar. So look for boot, and you'll have option 1, 2, and I think there is more on some motherboards, but it just depends on how many disks that you have in. So all you would need to do is make sure that your UEFI USB disk 3.0 is in the top one, and that your Windows installation, the drive that you're going to be installing Windows to, is in the bottom drive. Now the only problem with this here is if you have this set like this and it's going through the process, when it's restarting for the first time, if you don't unplug the USB drive, it'll load back into the USB drive and get you to do the install over again, therefore getting you stuck in an installation loop. If you have the option to spam F8 and boot from it from that menu, I find that a lot better than having to go in here, because then you'll have to remember to get up and unplug your USB drive before it fully restarts and boots from your USB drive again. So do keep that in mind if you set these here things up like this. From here, we're just going to go back here to easy mode and save and exit. We're going to click OK for saving the BIOS changes. Click OK. Now without touching anything, this should automatically boot from the USB device. Okay, same as before, Windows Startup will set up, and all you want to do once you're in here is select your language, your time and currency, and your keyboard layout. For us, we're just going to make sure that we pick everything that we need here. Make sure this here is correct for you. Then just click the next button. From here, the next page, just click install now. It'll say setup is starting, and this should only take a minute. Now from here, if you have a Windows 10 key, you can type it in. If you don't, which I don't, at the first of this, I linked my account so that I don't have to worry about it. When I log in and I use my Microsoft account to log in, it should automatically detect that I have paid for Windows. So I'm going to click I don't have a product key. And another thing is Windows 10 does not require you to purchase it to use it. You can still use it for free, and the only thing you'll lose is some features to make it look pretty, and you'll get a watermark sometimes. So just keep that in mind. You can just install it and have a fresh copy of it, and it doesn't actually cost you anything. You only need to spend the money if you want those extra features that you'll barely even notice. So for me, I'm just going to click I don't have a product key. Now, depending on what you have for Windows, if you know what you had previously for Windows, just pick it. So if you had Windows 10 Pro, pick Windows 10 Pro. If you're not sure what you had, most people have Windows 10 Home, and that's what I'm going to select. And if you don't know, just select that one. If you have Windows 10 Pro connected to your account, it will update and upgrade you on its own. It will know when you log into your Microsoft account. So from here, we're just going to click Next. Accept the terms and services and click Next again. Now, because we want a fresh installation, because we're having issues with games and stuff like that, we're going to go down here to a custom installation. We're not updating. Now, we're going to see a lot of different stuff in here, and there's a few things in here. We can go down, and we have a lot of drives in here. This isn't very good. So if there's a lot of drives in here, and you're not sure what ones that you need to remove, what I suggest doing at this here point is shutting off your computer and unplugging every single drive except for your main operating system, so that you don't accidentally click on one of these and install over top of something, because once you do that, it will be gone forever. What you need to do is find your main operating system, which is disk 5, and what you would need to do here, see, this is the one with your recovery, your Windows installation on it and stuff. And what you would need to do is click on these and delete them until there's just only one drive. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these until there's only one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart my computer and take out all of my other drives so that I don't delete the wrong one by accident. And I'll be back in a second. And after you delete all the partitions, this is what your drive should look like. So this is what it would look like if you were adding a new drive as well. So make sure that you find the drive that Windows was currently installed on and delete all the partitions so that it's on allocated space. And like I said, if you're not sure and there's more than one drive on your system, unplug your other drives, only leave the OS drive in, and make it look like this. When you turn your computer back off after you do this here installation, you'll be able to plug the hard drives back in and they'll just be picked back up like normal. So from here, we're just going to select our drive and click next. This is just going to go through the setup. This is going to take a few minutes to copy all the files and get it ready and install it. Now, after this here hits finish, it will restart and we will want to unplug the USB device because we set it up in the BIOS and it will restart the setup over and over and over again, and we don't want to loop. So what we'll have to do is unplug the USB device once this here finishes. Alright, now unplug your USB device. Unplugging it at that restart will prevent you from having to go through the boot loop over and over and over again. So again, this is the restart, just make sure you unplug it, and then it'll boot into your fresh installation of Windows and finish setting up. Through this process, there is going to be a few restarts. Hang tight, they should only take a few minutes. Another restart, and there's a Windows screen. This is going to load up Cortana. We're going to turn her all the way down. After Cortana gives us all that spiel, it'll say let's get started, select our region, click yes. Next it's going to ask you for your keyboard layout. Again, just pick the one that applies to you. I'm US, click yes. We don't want to add a secondary keyboard layout. I doubt many people use this. We're just going to skip this. This is just going to do a little bit more setting up and check your network. At this point, if you want an offline account, you should pull out your Ethernet cord. I never told you to do that though. Again, if you have internet, it's going to try and force you very hard to make an account. What I'm going to do for this is I'm going to sign in with my Microsoft account so that my Windows 10 installation will activate automatically. So 1 minute while I log in with my email account. Type in your password. I suggest creating a PIN here because it's a lot more convenient than typing in a whole password. So I suggest creating a PIN like you would for your phone or something. You don't have to, but I definitely think this makes it a lot easier to sign in. Click OK. Next, Microsoft is going to want to collect a whole bunch of your information. For me, I'm going to spam everything possible with a no because I really don't trust them with my information. So we're going to click no. And this here actually stops them from putting a lot of different games. Like you don't want Candy Crush. Microsoft puts a lot of bloatware on your computer if you pick yes for everything. So keep that in mind. I'm going to select no, but you can pick whatever you would like. This is going to be no. This is going to be send required only. We do not want that. No, we don't want that. No. No. And we're going to skip this because we don't want to help personalize for ads or anything else. Skip. Use your Android device from PC. No thanks. Microsoft account and OneDrive. It's going to ask you this here if you've logged in with your account. We're going to click next. And it's going to say discover your favorite games. It's going to be Xbox Pass. Join for $1. No thanks. We do not want that. Let Cortana help you. Not now. We don't want that there. And we're going to remove a few things once we've logged in. We're almost done now. It's just going to take a few more steps and another restart, I think. Okay, once Windows loads up, if you've used your Microsoft account, it's going to have your basic theme that you have previously set up. So yours might not start in dark mode, and you're going to have to actually change these things yourself. Mine loaded up automatically. I think that's kind of cool because I have my theme saved to my email address or my Microsoft account. And there's going to be a few things we're going to want to do in here. First, we want to click on this here start button. And we want to go to settings. From here, we want to click the updates and security. We want to make sure that we're checking for updates. Another good thing to do is to open the Microsoft Store, make sure that we're logged in, and go to downloads and updates. From here, we're just going to want to click the get updates, and it's going to go through and find all of the updates. We're going to do this here at the same time so that it's getting lots of updates, but you notice things are a little bit weird. We will have to get our video card driver softwares as well. So for this, we're going to open up a browser. Open up the browser, go to google.com, and get Chrome. Let's download Chrome. and open it. We're going to give this an install just so that we do not have to use this every single time. While we're waiting for this, we're actually going to go down here to the search menu. We're going to go all the way up here and we're going to click hide. We're going to hide the Cortana button. We're going to go over here and we're going to hide the weather as well. We're going to turn off news and interests. And the last thing here is the task view button. You can leave that one on if you want to. The task view button doesn't really hurt any. Then we're going to open up this here. We're going to click here. We're going to go to more. We're going to pin the taskbar so that we have our system's settings right here. So next time that you need to open things, you can just click it down here. Once Chrome is installed, we'll remove the Edge from here and change our default browser sources. We're also going to download the Armory crate here just because we have ASUS software and I'm pretty sure that I need it for some of the fan controls. Okay, now that we've got Chrome open here, we're going to go to google.com. We're going to move this here out of the way. We're going to go to nvidia.com. If you have an AMD video card, you will have to go to AMD. You can select your model and click search. This will give you the most recent drivers. We're just going to click the download. And click the download. This is going to give us the option to install the GeForce Experience application as well. We definitely want that so that we can keep our drivers up to date. Or if you do a lot of streaming or any kind of content creation, we definitely want to make sure that this is the first thing that we have updated and working. Okay, that's pretty much it. All you have to do is wait for this here stuff to all get installed and you'll have a fresh, clean copy of Windows. In your settings, we'll go back here. You can go into your applications. In here, in your default apps, you can scroll all the way to the bottom here where it says web browser. Click this and change it to Chrome. Switch it anyways. And there you go. You have your default web browser as Chrome. We're going to go back in here just so we can watch our updates. We'll make this small. We're going to get rid of this and we're going to get rid of this. Unpin from taskbar. We don't want that there anymore. We want to pin this one here to the taskbar. So we're going to pin this one here to the taskbar instead. And there you go. If you signed in with your Microsoft account that you have linked to your Windows 10, you won't have the watermark. Everything should be activated, but you can definitely go in here and check to see if you're activated. In the settings, you can go to the update and security, down here to activation and check, and it'll tell you if you have an activated Windows. And it'll let you know if it's linked to your account. So that's something to know as well before you get started. You can check in the activation area to see if it's linked to your account. Mine was linked to my account, so I won't have any issues here, and it will automatically activate my Windows 10 Home Edition. And like I said, that's everything there is to it. All you have to do is let these here things finish installing, and you should be smooth sailing. Get your OBS installed, do your recordings, play your games. If you were having system issues, this should have straightened that out, hopefully, if it's not hardware related or driver related. But that's all there is to it. I hope this here solved up some of the issues that you were having before you had to reinstall Windows. And if you think I forgot or left something out, definitely leave it in the comments below. And if you like or found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up and get subscribed for more content. Thanks for watching.